What's up, Reefer Revolutionaries? It's 420 in California. This is Reefer Revolution Live.
But I think in terms of marijuana, and legalization, I think that should be a state issue, state by state. I think it's up to the states, yeah. I'm a states person. I think it should be up to the states, absolutely. You know, I know people that are very, very sick, and for whatever reason, the marijuana really helps them.
Good people don't smoke marijuana.
Terrorists keep terrorizing. Leaders keep
Bye-bye, Beauregard. What a week for weed, Reefer Revolutionaries. A green wave sweeps the nation as weed wins the midterms. Beauregard is bounced. Is Chris Christie on deck? Aye. Which party will embrace Cannabis 2020 for the win as more people vote for cannabis than most candidates running on Tuesday? We go to the Emerald Exchange at their first permitted cannabis event in Los Angeles. Reefer Revolution was there. A report. Stay tuned. Welcome, everybody. This is Reefer Revolution Live.
Good people don't smoke marijuana.
Broadcasting on Weed TV, the Cannabis Media Network.
Marijuana stocks. Boy, did they rally right after Jeff Sessions resigned yesterday afternoon. What you're looking at now is those marijuana stocks at pre-market levels. Late yesterday, boy, did they go up. Judge Napolitano, here's the question. Is the new Attorney General, Sessions is gone, going to reclassify marijuana?
I don't know his opinion on this. I know the president's opinion on it, which is that marijuana should be decriminalized throughout the United States.
Has he said that explicitly?
He hasn't said it publicly, but I know he has said it. Enough said.
Okay.
He is known to favor that. He never put reins on this on Jeff Sessions. And Jeff Sessions, much to the chagrin of FBI agents and local federal prosecutors, instructed a rigid and aggressive enforcement of marijuana laws as if this were the 60s or 70s. An utter waste of federal resources. I don't think that waste will continue.
But if the president got his way and he could have recreational marijuana nationwide, that allows banks to finance the marijuana industry.
Changes the industry radically and all for the better.
Yes.
And it also changes human freedom, and it frees up law enforcement to go after truly dangerous
whether it's for the better or not, that's another story. But economically
for the better is what I meant to say.
At that point.
Absolutely. I think you will see that happen. I just don't think that Whitaker, and he's only in there for 210 days and probably less, is going to carry out the Jeff Sessions pattern on marijuana.
Could well happen the next few years. Could be.
Yes. Oh, I think it's going to happen in 2019.
Okay. Oh, well, there's a pretty... You're on tape, lad. Thanks, Judge.
See you later.
All right.
What's up, Reefer Revolutionaries? I'm Dave Conan. This is indeed Reefer Revolution Live. DC 420 LA on YouTube, also streaming over on Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, D-Live, and Weed TV, the Cannabis Media Network. Welcome, everybody. Lots of folks jumping in the chat already. A lot of old friends, a lot of new friends all coming in. Little Geek Squad official, JoJo and Seth Brown, first in the chat. Nice. All new viewers within the last couple of weeks. Nice. Joining us on the show. Oh, and I hear the voice of reason. And the muse behind it all. There she is, Coach Chela.
Hi.
Hi, Coach Chela. Hi. Welcome. What a week.
Yeah, big week, you guys.
I don't often agree with Judge Napolitano.
No.
But that's definitely something that I can agree with. Now, is it all politics? We shall see. But what a week, huh, Chela? Huge week. You know, it's been said. We covered it on Tuesday, on Thursday. Our little impromptu blast from Kitchen Mouse this week. We're going live a lot this week because it's been such a big week. A lot of fun. Going to be more of that. But let me tell you, cannabis won this week, despite North Dakota and some outliers in some local races. But for the most part, we are talking about a big win for cannabis. 2018, we knew it was coming, and we knew people were going to go to the polls.
Yep.
It was reported that people were voting more for cannabis than many of the candidates.
Yep.
And we have a news report that talks about just that. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to Reefer Revolution Live, Sundays at 4:20. Make sure you get subscribe, get notifications. So when we do go live, because now we're going live even more often, and boy, do we have more plans for that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, we went to one heck of an event
Oh, my gosh.
this week.
Los Angeles has some really amazing cannabis events, and we are making it our business to start going to them because, you know, when in Rome.
They are permitted, some of them. Some of them are not quite permitted yet.
It's okay.
Last night was the first permitted one.
We are not afraid of using illegal cannabis.
Oh, we're not.
We have used illegal cannabis for most of our lives.
As most people have.
Yeah. Yeah. But that being said, I'm loving the transition so that more people can start finding the benefits of the cannabis plant.
I am actually enjoying the taxed and regulated cannabis that we've been enjoying. I mean, outside of the huge taxes that they charge.
Yes, which they need to adjust if they want.
Upwards of 30% overall your purchase.
If they want people to stop using the unregulated market or the local market.
Well, there were some interesting definitions at this panel. The panels we were on. Should we talk about our event?
Yeah,
let's go.
Let's
event. It wasn't our event.
Let's see. We attended this fantastic event. There's 23 people watching. We can talk about it.
Sure, we can start talking about it. Well, you guys heard about it. We actually came up with the idea right here on the show last week.
Yeah, with you all.
Watching a panel from the Future Cannabis Project.
Yeah, which we love.
Which we love, and you're going to get to see all those panels that we saw yesterday because they were there.
Yes.
So we'll make sure to put those up in the Weed Are the Media playlist on the channel. But they, of course, introduced us to Justin Cavillo, right? Is that how you pronounce his name?
No.
No. I know him as Justin.
Justin Emerald Outpost.
Emerald Outpost, right.
Calvino, yeah.
Calvino.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie Lee jumping in from Alabama.
Hey,
Welcome,
Bonnie Lee.
everybody, jumping
Hey,
in.
y'all.
Happy guys in there. Holy cannabis oils in there. Cosmic Lettuce in Arizona. Jake, where you at, Jake? What are we smoking? Let us know.
RBU 83145 from Australia.
Cicely's here.
Nice.
Lots of folks
Cosmic
jumping
Lettuce,
in.
happy guy. Nice to see everybody. Holy cannabis oil. Nice to see everybody.
So
yes.
Yes, the event we were speaking of.
Here it is.
Here it is. We were at the Emerald. Justin Calvino created this amazing frickin' group. He's a grower, longtime grower up in the Emerald Triangle.
Yeah.
Here in California, and he created something
with his friends.
Yes, with his friends, in adapting to the regulation under Prop 64, they've had to come up with some creative ways to make the business work.
Yeah.
Underneath these ridiculous tax and regulate scam that's going on. Yes, we want clean weed. Not that it's been a problem for people for years, but we're all on board. The reasons for getting right with legality, making it more accessible to people, more what is the word I'm looking for? More not as objectionable to people to use the product. So having it tested and regulated and well branded and with good child-proof packaging, all good stuff. So these guys over at Emerald Outpost, Justin and his partners, have found some very interesting ways to get their small batch, small farmer product, great cannabis into the dispensaries under this new system. And one of the things he did last year was this Emerald Outpost exchange under the old rules. And of course, we now have permanent rules in California. And he basically, along with some help, a lot of help that we're going to see some of in our discussion, put this together. And we had an amazing freaking time.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, so we arrived, and Dave will show you some pictures and video.
Oh, let me get the first video up here.
All right, cool.
We're gonna do a little
establishing
shot of the of the event. Here it is.
It's like you're with us.
This was the outdoor smoking area.
Yes.
beyond the patio there.
So they had 3 vendors set up their wares so you could see the wares, but you could not buy the wares.
Right.
They talked about all their products, and you got to meet the farmers and how things are grown and what they do. And,
This was at 1 o'clock when everybody first got there.
yeah, and how they've hooeyed up together.
Some of the panelists there mingling. Mixing. It was a mixer.
It was. We were mixing.
Yeah, it was
we
a mixer.
mixed.
Northern California with Southern California.
It was great.
There's Ariel Clark.
Good.
Before we get into that.
So then we went to a panel. The first panel of the day was this fantastic Cannabis panel. Let's see the panelists.
The panelists were, there they are. Cannabis Circle.
Yeah. Oh, this is so exciting, you guys. There's a ladies' circle, women's circle in Los Angeles that gathers once a month and shares flower and talks about cannabis and cannabis business and our experiences. And I'm excited to be joining this group.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. This was a mixer gathering of the Cannabis Circle, and it was a group of very interesting and dynamic people. I'm super stoked to know about them.
Yeah, it was great. It's cool that they. We basically that was how we got introduced, and now you'll be a regular participant in that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool because
Yeah.
it's part of a lot of what was talked about at this event, at least on the panels, was the social equity aspect of maintaining it in the space, as well as gender equality and the uplifting of women in the space to make sure that doesn't get lost in this green rush. So that was very cool, and the building of community, and it was really what was talked about in that circle, and really why the goals of this event being put together was to build the community, connect the growers up north with the distributors and the people in the south. So that first panel was really
so
cool.
that you can ask for sun-grown cannabis at your dispensary.
Essentially.
Essential to ask for the products that you want.
And while we're talking about, let's spark up a couple of joints from.
All right.
From our, we'll start smoking these.
Thank you.
This is, we'll say what this is.
Tell us.
This is from Casa Humboldt, which is one of the growers that was represented.
Uh-huh.
And this is, we're smoking, we're going to have a bag of it, as well as joints of Charlie Girl.
A nice sativa.
A nice sativa. So we'll spark those up as we continue to talk about the event and how we got our Humboldt, our Casa Humboldt weed at this event, which was quite unique.
So after the Cannabis Circle, there was another panel. The next panel was an equity and its role in corporate and social responsibility. And that was awesome.
And there was on that panel were one of the authors of Prop 64, which was interesting to see. I immediately got that they tried.
They
tried
did what
do
they
it.
could,
Yeah,
man.
They did what they could.
But they really had to compromise. So now we have to fix it.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're ready. We're ready to fix it. At that panel, I thought was awesome, and I'm sure you guys will know exactly why. They had these fantastic cards to mail to our mayor.
And that was an add-on to she was an addition. I forget her name because she was not on the list here of who joined it, but
Yeah.
her organization.
But it's great. It was already written out and addressed. And the ones that we filled out there, we gave back to her. She's going to stamp them and send them in.
That was very cool. Very reminiscent of what we do here on the
Yes,
show.
yes. And I'm going to drop those off at the local collective, who was also there. Cornerstone Collective was there. I'm not sure if they got any of these cards. We were talking about it. Dia and I were talking about it, and so I wanted to collect a few cards for the collective because I'm sure they're going to want them.
Yeah.
So that was really
this Charlie
great.
Girl is very flavorful, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Sun grown, baby.
Oh, I got a little straight in the mouth.
Let's start a little. We picked up some papers from one of the other one of these new vendors we're going to talk about,
Which is awesome.
Really cool.
Also, everything was awesome. I'm sorry I'm not
start-
using better, more descriptive adjectives, but I was really just blown away.
We're going to start filling like a bag there.
After this panel, actually the ladies on the panel, the one in the kind of orangey red, She is a second-generation farmer who has hooeyed up.
Her name was
Who has hooeyed up 60 growers
Chia
in her community.
Rodriguez.
And-
Mendocino Generations. co-founder.
Yes, and so we made sure to buy some things from her,
That's right.
from her collective. That was awesome. That's going to be this. Oh, I'm going to show you this later. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm getting
we're
ahead of
getting
myself.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
It was, the whole panel was great.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
really
great.
great. So
It was
let's
awesome.
move on. I don't want to take too much time.
Those panels, as I say, they will all be up on Future Cannabis Project.
Right,
and
the
we'll,
full panel.
The full panel, and we'll make sure to link to them as
The
soon as they're up.
bottom line of this panel was, though, is the social responsibility and focusing on education and letting the community know the history of cannabis and why it used to be called marijuana, and moving away from that. So making sure to change our what we say. And I feel like I was inspired by that panel to try to start some, kind of Marijuana Monday and hashtagging it and making the education and taking it from marijuana, and by the end of the statement to be, hey, let's call it cannabis.
Right, so
something
to
along those lines.
expose the history of the word
Yeah.
and the change that we're trying to make and,
Yeah.
and highlight that on Mondays.
Yes.
Great idea.
Totally.
Love it. You're a
So-
hashtag queen now that you're on the Instagram.
Well, yeah.
At Reefer Rev Show. Follow Chela's action on Instagram at Reefer Rev Show, and on Facebook at Reefer Rev Show. Cannabis saves
funny.
the world.
It's so funny, you guys. We were chatting with some of the folks at the place, and I was happy to know that a lot of them also are not great with social media. They have people that do that.
We have people that do that stuff. Not us.
Not me.
We are going to try.
We're gonna learn this shit.
We are going to enjoy a perfectly vaped bag from the Air Riser EQ, 388 degrees of Charlie Girl. So let's. Would you like the fresh bag?
Oh, sure.
Try the fresh bag to enjoy
my
those
joint has
terpenes.
gone out.
What's that?
I heard of a great book yesterday in that panel. It's a book I heard about before that I haven't read yet, but you guys, I think we should do a book club on it. The New Jim Crow, and it really illustrates how cannabis is the driver of the war on drugs, and we can use that issue to get people to vote as cannabis as their issue, and that's how we're going to move the ball forward.
Good.
Together.
Good plan.
It's very exciting.
Good plan. And through the
Okay,
the
I'll
magic
take that
of
bag.
through the magic of television, I will I'll hand this bag, this full bag of Charlie Girl, over to Chela as I answer a couple of questions in the chat. As we continue to talk about our great fun at Emerald Exchange, we did do a check-in. RBU down there in Aussie saw your midweek video. On your visit to Beauregard's for brunch, visit to Beauregard for brunch, it was Kitchen Mouse.
Yeah.
But amazed how much high caloric food you had. My question is, how do you both remain slim?
Cannabis.
Cannabis. Answered by Believer. Welcome, Believer. By smoking lots of cannabis? Absolutely. That's the answer. It's a myth, people. Cannabis helps regulate your blood sugar. It helps you with your hormone balance. It helps with stress relief, so you don't keep cortisol, so you don't keep fat on. Cannabis actually, that's why Shaggy is skinny. All we talked to a guy for about at ABS Extractors talking about how he stayed so skinny.
He's also very slender.
He's also very slender.
We walk the dogs. We eat really well.
We do, yeah. We don't.
You know.
We don't consume.
He
a lot
was
of calories.
saying that. Ricky was saying that
When we go out, we
cannabis.
do.
Yeah, cannabis makes him a more conscientious consumer of food because he, is conscientious about the quality of cannabis that he puts in his body, and that makes him think about the other food he puts in his body.
I think that's totally relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are other issues involved too, but those are many. It is true; that's all
Yeah.
scientifically proven about cannabis.
But yeah, we don't eat like that at Kitchen Mouse every day all the time.
And yes, one of the benefits is to make you hungry. The munchies. Eventually, you get over the munchies. I have. I don't get the munchies unless I eat actually some really
Edibles.
high powered edibles. Yeah, you too, right?
Yep.
So munchies aren't really. A
Oh my
thing.
God, I'll eat the whole house
I'll
down.
admit to.
I will eat the whole house
We could
if
be
I-
wrong about that. All these people witness our show every week could say, "No, you get the munchies. We know you because you do it."
I'm
halfway through
hungry.
the
It's
show.
been hours and hours.
That's true. We just haven't
I
eaten.
don't think I had avocado toast this morning. That's what I had. That's what I've eaten. Anyway.
But this is
yes,
you can
thank
serve-
you.
The perfectly vaped bag is really nice. You can taste the whole terpene profile in there with the riser EQ 300 and or set at 393 right now. But that seems to be a yummy temp without all the bad stuff.
Yes, MD Niles, we don't drink alcohol.
That's true. We don't drink alcohol, and since I cut that out, it has definitely been easier to keep the weight off.
Oh my goodness. And I had a little sinus thing a few weeks ago, but I don't get sick.
Right.
You know?
I think that does have a lot to do with it. Actually.
It's huge.
Because that's sugar. It's pure sugar.
It's sugar and it screws up your hormone balance.
Let's continue.
So anyway, we digress.
We digress.
But that was fun. It was a fun digression.
That was a fun digress instead of this other BS. So then there was another panel.
Yes, the next panel.
And there is our host,
Yes,
Justin.
Bring up the thing. Oh no, I guess you won't.
Ken.
Yeah, bring up the thing.
Here it is, the
Yeah.
Insider Panel.
Yes, the Industry Insider Panel. Also really informative, super packed full of information. Really, the bottom line is, if you have a dream, talk to people and make it happen. Because there are workarounds, y'all. There are workarounds for stuff.
These are very creative folk.
Very creative people.
Ariel Clark, one of the premier ones, she was on that panel. She was also in the
Attorney.
circle. Met her. I've worked, in helping some other folks in this navigate this landscape. I've met
Yeah.
Ariel. She's amazing. Does amazing work in this space. The other folks on that panel, Hezekiah Allen,
Oh, he was fantastic.
blew me away.
Yeah, he was great. He's
That
all
guy.
about cooperatives.
He's also a slam poet, which we
Yeah.
we appreciate.
Yeah.
Quite very much.
When we find his poetry, we'll put it up for y'all.
Eric Spitz, really on point as far as distribution. The moderator from Rolling Stone, she could not make it because of weather, and there was a drop in for the delivery service, which was our delivery service for the event. So
Yes, Bobby.
the accessible delivery service for the event, Bobby from Herb
Yes.
Delivery here in Los Angeles, the lesser known delivery
Bobby.
service in California, but certainly top shelf. Everybody, I got to say, everybody at this event
Not just top shelf,
was the
but
tits.
cooperative.
Sorry.
Cooperative and wanting to see craft cannabis and local growers
Right.
and generational growers succeed and doing what it takes to build the community to make that happen. And really all of us in each of our communities want to do that, whether you're Oregon or Michigan or Missouri or wherever you are, you want to support your local growers. Of course, you're going to always want some craft cannabis from California.
Sun-grown
Just like,
craft cannabis.
just like California wine has that great reputation. I'm sure that, I know our cannabis has that reputation too. So, that being said, that Bobby and Herb was willing to jump through hoops and go through the hurdles that it took to help produce this event shows what a committed person he is to the cannabis community. And that's pretty rad. And he, of course, attributed it to everybody else, which is also pretty rad.
And then from left to right there, Justin on the left, he's the organizer of Emerald Outpost and
Yes.
creator of Emerald Outpost, and came up with the idea of this event.
Leader of the Hui.
Hezekiah next over.
Alan. Hezekiah
Bobby.
Allen. Bobby Vecchio.
Hezekiah is Emerald. I found his. Let's see. That's not. Wait a minute.
We'll get there.
Wait, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
There he. Nope. That's there. Oh, there he is. Emerald Grown. He has a Facebook presence. Emerald Grown. That's Hezekiah Allen. And then Bobby, the next over, in the black.
Yep.
He is
Distributor.
Herb
Yeah, Herb.
Delivery, and a really great service. We're certainly going to use them again.
And we'll tell you why. Mm-hmm. We already talked about Ariel and Mr. Spitz.
And
so
Spitz, yes.
let's move to Herb's.
Their website.
Yeah.
So they did they have their herb delivery, herb.delivery.
At this
You
event.
can just find herb delivery in Los Angeles area. I think they're California. Are they California wide? Not yet. No, I think they're just local. But they did have a special menu for the event, which was really cool. You accessed it online. You were able to sign up at the event You had to go online. You could either do one of those QR scanners and sign up, upload your ID, or your recommendation if you're a medical patient, to get the the lower taxes, and then you go to their menu, and if you are in their delivery area, place your order, and it's there within 15 to 45 minutes. Now, they were basically in the house.
Yeah, they were parked.
They were parked outside
Upstairs.
and were able to. And this was their special menu.
Show the parking space.
Oh yeah, let's look at the picture before we get into the menu.
Yeah.
There they
so
are.
There they are parked, and we were able to get our items.
So we downloaded the menu, which was this menu here, and we chose. I got some of the couple of the Lagunita 10 milligram THC drinks.
They were nice.
They were beer. We got our Casa Humboldt there, Charlie Girl. That's where we got that.
Yeah.
We got a couple of pre-rolls to enjoy down below. We got that bag of Arcana flower, which we'll break out here in a second.
Yeah.
And I think we got a couple of those drinks. So then we went upstairs to. We placed our order. Went upstairs. They called us, let us know it was available. They were there. Went upstairs, got the order. There's our guy checking in.
Liam.
There he is.
She's great.
I'm here, Chela. I'm here to pick up my weed. There's a delivery here for me.
He recognized me as soon as I walked up.
He did.
He's like, oh, you must be Chela.
Oh, you must be Chela.
Hi. You must be Liam. It was
we got
great.
our little bag. You want to show?
Sure, yeah.
The Arcana.
Yeah. Here's the packaging with your child-proof packaging.
This is one of the collectives of under the Chia.
Yeah.
Her name is, right?
Yep.
Her collective.
Second generation grower.
Yep.
With the 60.
Amazing story.
Hui of 60 people.
There's amazing stories here, people. We're gonna
really incredible
we're
stories.
We're going to be one of the, we can talk about it, but
we want to be cannabis filmmakers
stay
forevermore.
Tuned. Stay tuned.
Really?
We're going to have a lot of stories to tell on Reefer Revolution.
For sure.
Yeah.
And Cannabis Saves the World.
And Cannabis Saves the World together.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I want you to know that I figured out how to handle
this is amazing.
Every single one of these fucking little bags.
We're going to make this clip because this clip is going to go viral. This is an amazing. This is how you do it. Go ahead, Chela. Explain.
How you do it. Just like that, motherfucker.
There it is. The way to open every childproof bag
ready to go
in California. That's your hot tip. That's your hack.
That's nice.
That's your Reefer Revolution hack.
Totally.
Because you know what? I have yet to find one that I can open on the first try.
This is how you do it.
Even Lagunitas, they had to invent.
They had to show us how to open it. So here's the bud.
They had to show us how to open the can.
Here's the bud.
Wait, let me cut over to you. Go ahead.
There's the bud.
Oh, very nice.
Oh my gosh, my manicure. Oh no!
Oh no! Wait, there's another bud.
At least I didn't drop glass in it.
Wait, find that. Yeah. You know that sound. There it is. Oscar didn't eat it.
Oscar's not going to eat our bud. Oh, thanks, baby.
Close up. Oh yeah, that's beauty.
That's very nice.
That's some nice, beautiful. That look
very nice.
That kind of does look like the bud I was wearing on my lapel.
It does a little bit. Well, it's a little lumpier. No, you're right.
So we got a couple of good size nugs, right?
Yeah. Oh no,
it's an eighth, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's an eighth.
There's more in there.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Go ahead and you can put it back in there. Cool. All right. So that's exciting.
So
that's fun.
We'll do some of that during the show here. Great job, Chela. The great hack, great life hack.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
So what? Then we went upstairs. They had vendors. You got a great sweater. I'm sure you'll be.
Oh, you guys! This sweater I got was beautiful.
There were some awesome vendors upstairs.
Yes.
It was the space is amazing. The Victorian in Santa Monica.
Support your local cannabis events as they start to happen.
Oh, and we've got a few more lined up already. So,
we keep going. There's more.
Pack.
This is only halfway.
I know
through.
We're only halfway through.
Go on.
This is an amazing event.
This is a 3-hour show just in itself.
So Chela, and then.
Oh my God, the wine.
These guys.
The wine. It's not really. It has no alcohol.
Rebel Coast Winery.
So excited about this.
We're there, and they were. I've got the Lagunitas in one glass there. It was more of a Zima style drink.
It was nice. I liked it.
It's like more like a sparkling water with THC in it. It was.
Yeah.
If I had known that, I was expecting more of a beer, hoppier thing.
Yeah, this is more of a.
But is
refreshing.
Now the wine, however, really, it was a Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc. It was lovely.
De-alcoholized.
Yeah.
And then infused.
Wonderful.
Really, really cool.
Really nice, because it's nice to have a nice glass of wine with a meal. It really sets some things off. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's totally bizarre. But it's true. I find it so. But I don't like alcohol, so I'm super stoked about this. It's really...
These guys were there.
It's really great.
They were awesome.
It's really great.
The founders.
Yeah, the founders were there.
Cannabis infused Sauvignon Blanc.
Wonderful.
Great branding, great marketing.
We need to stop by the winery on our trip.
Yeah, no doubt. We got a lot of places. We've
have
had
a
a lot
big
of
trip
places
coming.
to stop. We have a big trip coming.
We got a big trip
I don't know when we're going to
coming.
do it, but we've got a big trip coming.
After Mom moves into non-physical, we'll
Right.
do the big trip.
Yeah, we have.
So the next
So that was
slide.
pretty cool. That was the Rebel Coast Winery.
Yes,
Red
look
is
for it.
coming. They are available.
Look for
It's
it in
available
dispensaries
in
in California.
dispensaries. That's right. It's available in dispensaries in California. And a red is about 6 months out. It's a little tougher. This actually had a really nice flavor.
Like Sauvignon
like
Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
It was great.
And you definitely got. We've done some liquid infused drinks before, and it's had a very similar. They came on quite nicely and extended.
Yeah.
We had a few of drinks throughout the night, and
It was great.
it was great. So
And they're going to come up with a higher THC level bottle.
Oh, that
which
was
is
it. We
great.
asked them because the bottle is 20 milligrams, and you get about 4 glasses out of it. So they're about 5 milligrams per glass. And folks are already
Which is good
asking.
for new people.
Perfect
Totally.
entry. But we're like, come
How
on.
about for us?
Yeah, so they're working on the 100 milligram, which they can totally do in California.
Yeah.
As long as there's no alcohol in it, they're golden.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
So then downstairs.
Then we went downstairs. So
And
we
here's
went
a
into the
little-
evening. It was an event that went from 1 in the afternoon with the panel started at 2. And then after 4 o'clock, the last panel finished about 5 o'clock. And then we
Into
got
the
our
night.
weed and went into the night. And here's just a little B-roll
I didn't know we were rolling.
of the evening. This is the Emerald Exchange, Emerald Outpost. You can look for these in your dispensaries. This is how
In
they
California?
get small craft cannabis growers in California, in the Emerald Coast, or the Emerald Triangle, into dispensaries. And there's some of the other vendors and the turnout here at the Victorian. They had bananas.
What's up,
Great.
Reefer
Food trucks?
Revolutionaries? There's some revolutionary shit going on here.
Indeed. Who was that voice? That was an amazing voice. That guy should do voiceover
He should.
for one of these companies, maybe.
He
I don't know.
definitely should do voiceover.
So that we went in
great.
the evening, and we talked to the guys who made the who their ABX is what do they stand for? We just had it before the show, but they are
They make the infusion.
extractors, the
Extractor,
infusers.
yeah.
I'll get the name and that's Ricky. We talked. Was it Ricky? Right?
Yep.
Ricky. We talked to him for a good long time. He stays skinny on cannabis. They talked about a number of their brands that they are infusing, including Lagunitas drink. Care by Design is their product that they infuse with their oils, as well as some pre-rolls. There's the Emerald Outpost. That's what you look for in the dispensaries in California to help support these really amazing sun-grown cannabis, California cannabis, craft cannabis companies. You can find these. It's basically a farmer's market in a box that they put into dispensaries.
It's so clever and adorable.
It's great. Amazing marketing.
Really
and
clever,
then,
super
They
creative.
had vegan burgers.
There were vegan burgers. There were spinach empanadas. There they are. They were so good.
There was a harp. There was Chela. And we had, that's the ABX guys.
Yep.
And there's us having a great time.
Totally a great time.
It was
Really a
amazing,
great time.
Amazing event. We were there basically all day and night up until we left right before 9.
Yeah, it was great. And then we went dancing.
And we went dancing.
It was
at a friend's
fun.
house. Or rather, at a friend's party.
Yeah.
And I got to say, we met some really, we're new to this.
Totally new to this.
And we shot out some rockets recently, and have opened up the channels to meet some of these people. And we're starting to meet some real power players and influencers in this space that are trying to make it work in California under these conditions.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because, we are supporters of traditional market in the broader sense, because we do think it should be regulated like tomatoes.
Yes,
That's our
we'll get to
overall-
tomatoes.
Our overall belief on this
Yeah.
show, Real Revolution. North Dakota was close to that, but a little too advanced, a little too early. We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there by talking to each other. We'll get there.
Until then, they have devised these plans now underway in California, and we are going to another private event coming up. We went to one last month, the comedy event. We're going to do another one of those, and we're going to go to more of these permanent events and
Spread the word.
Spread and really just sort of watch how this all unfolds here in California and bring you all along with us.
Yeah.
And we're part of what happened at this event was that we heard some amazing stories and have been invited to help bring those stories to the public. One of the criticisms, one of the issues on the panel on the panels and certainly in the equity and corporate social responsibility panel was the cannabis media, the involvement of the cannabis media as well as mainstream media, because we all know, as you see on this show every week, because that's what we do, we comment and criticize the mainstream media on how they're handling this movement across the country and the world, and the cannabis media has responsibility as well to tell the story of what's going on, not only with brands and the commercialization of this plant, but also the struggles of medicinal cannabis. Eventually, it's all medicinal. We know that. And eventually, that's where it's going to be. Everybody's going to realize that this is more of a supplement than it is anything else, and it's beneficial in so many areas. Some amazing conversations last night. Some of the conversations we had last night with these people.
It was fun.
It's
super fun.
This community of medicine makers, and business people that really want to part. And there's this divide, and we want to talk about that. We want to talk about this divide in California between those that are embracing what's going on, that have been in the space forever, and those that aren't. And we saw that on the panel we talked about on the Future Cannabis Project last week with Doug, with the Chalice Festival. So there's a real, and we talked about that a little bit last night with Justin, and we heard it on the panel. So there's this, literally the tax and regulation scheme has now torn this community apart, and they're trying to stitch it back together, or at least not let it happen.
Yeah.
That's what really they're trying to do. They're trying to not let it get torn apart. Holy cannabis oil. Newsom is playing politician. He certainly is. He was pretty solid on cannabis when he was just SF. Now I hope he doesn't forget what he learned. They do change their tune as they move up the ladder. We see it. But there were deals made, and he was involved, and they weren't the best deals. The pain the medical patients are going through right now is a deal that was struck by Gavin Newsom and some others during the Prop 64 negotiations in Mount Cursa.
We're going to fix it.
And you'll see that discussion, a lot of that discussion on these panels. But so we are going to need to stay on Gavin Newsom. He's our best hope. Apparently,
this is what we got.
Gay governors and cannabis are good too.
Can happen.
So governors with cannabis, governors and cannabis, whether they're gay or not, or straight or gay friendly or whatever it is, governors and cannabis were very linked this election. And there's a story in the news about that, about Jared Polis and how he used. This
is one of my favorite stories.
He basically, we'll talk about it after this, but
he ran on cannabis loud and proud.
He ran on cannabis loud and proud, and that's really the question today. I want to ask you guys: is which party is going to embrace cannabis in 2020?
That's
what
a
do you
good
think?
question.
Is it going to be the Democrats or is it going to be the Republicans? Because quite frankly, whoever does it is going to get the youth vote, is going to get libertarian vote. It's going to get the
people who don't vote.
People that don't vote. There's going to be a
Move over
lot.
stuff?
There's going to be a lot of people that, as all of these, you saw it at the top of the show, Judge Napolitano, and you see it with Boehner, and you see all of these signals that he's going to do something, and it's something's going to be done in next year, and soon. So we're going to see movement. And if the Democrats don't bring that stuff up right away in the House, it's to their peril.
We are going to inform them.
Yeah.
We're going to let them know.
So we need to tell now that we've got control.
Yeah.
We need to make sure now that they've got control, they need to move the issues that Pete Sessions kiboshed.
Yes.
All through this, the last however many years he's been doing it.
Yes. They have to get on board with 2/3 of Americans.
They better get some stuff on the books. They better get some banking rules changed, or research for veterans, or something. They better do
2/3 of
something.
Americans are also going to find themselves out of a job.
That's right. That's right.
And 4 more years of the Cheeto. Nobody wants that.
There's only so many issues that there's this much popular support for, and they better figure it out. We are neither, and we're just observers and comment. We are pot pundits, first-time pot pundits. We're going into year 2, folks. So I guess now we're moved from amateur to novice. I don't know what the scale is, but we're hoping this next year this show's gonna explode. New shows are gonna explode, and we're gonna start bringing you some amazing stories. And if you want to help out, there's a Patreon. But we're just, we're doing what we love, and
it's all good stuff.
And what we need is going to come to us. So we have plans. We'll let you all know. We'll let you all know in on those plans. And if some of you are, whether it's financially or supportive, sharing this station, subscribing, getting notifications, telling people, that's really the best
that's what we
place
need from you.
Where you guys can help out
more than anything.
Is telling people about our broadcast. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, DLive. They can watch on Weed TV, the Cannabis Media Network. So whatever platform they prefer, we are there for now, and they can join us. YouTube is where we have the most engagement and chat, and we love that. So get them on over here to YouTube. Let's get our subscribers up to 10,000 on this channel, and then we'll start to get noticed more. Hit the thumbs up, share, yada yada yada. We thank you guys so much. Everybody, people in this chat have been here from literally day one. And since I was doing this, when we were watching the first time Chela was on our show,
God,
our graphics were bad, ours were terrible, and everything was terrible.
You couldn't hear me.
It's getting better and better, and that's
with
nothing.
I looked like I was in a ransom video, in like a hostage video.
Well, you kind of were. I kind of forced you to do it. It was like that. It was like when we did Tuesday, we jumped in. It was, why is the lady sitting in the back? That's how we started, actually. But we fixed that. Why isn't she sitting next to you? Sarah's not in the chat today, but maybe she's a weekday. Sunday might be tough for folks. So those midweek shows, we got a lot of viewers. So yeah, we're going to be doing more. There's lots more. We are meeting so many amazing. We heard an amazing story of medicine going on, cannabis medicine going on here in California that I don't necessarily want to talk too much about. I guess we can, but we will have a 5-hour show if we start getting into all of the good things that happened last night.
We're moving into the news. We started.
I started talking about the news,
politics,
so we might as well.
You're going.
And it was, last week I did make it through the headline hash in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself this week. I'm just going to go through some of the headlines some of the stories that I caught this week. You can get all those at dc420la.com and sign up for a Cannabis Chronicle. I send it out on Saturdays. It's a pretty good capture of what's going on this week. More stuff is happening every day and faster and faster. But this week, of course, the Sunday before elections, and we talked about it on Tuesday. Boehner had an op-ed in the Washington Post, or rather the Wall Street Journal, saying that Washington needs to legalize cannabis. That was Monday. And then, of course, on the other side of that, we know John's making a bunch of money in corporate cannabis now because everybody comes to Cannabis Cash or Cures. And John Bader, did you know that George Washington's standing in a field of hemp on the back of a $10 bill? Everybody's all in on cannabis.
You're so much more natural.
But while he's making money on cannabis, California had its largest bust and the first giant bust of rolling up the unregulated, people not paying to play, holding on to their traditional roots. You know, this is the battle that's going on, folks. 400,000 cannabis plants rolled up on Tuesday, on Monday. Largest bust in Santa Barbara County. Growing up among regular agriculture stuff.
Man.
Couldn't get a license and gone.
Man.
This is the battle. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, weed wins. Everybody loves weed. And Vice midterm suggest there were a lot of cannabis issues on the ballot. We watched them happen on Tuesday.
All over.
Michigan won big. North Dakota, not so much. Utah gets medical. Missouri. Ohio decriminalize cannabis in a bunch of cities. Connecticut looks good. The governor, he wants weed. Minnesota, the same. Illinois has got action. We see that in the news this week. And New Mexico, Michelle Lujan Grissom won the governor's race there. So governors, we're looking good. Governors love cannabis in 2018 for 2019 in their states. So that was great. And here's one of them. This was Chela's big story of the week.
This is my favorite story.
Chela's toke. What do you say, Chela?
I get a toke.
You get a toke.
Sorry, excuse me. Haha, I'm ready. So Jared Polis.
Jared Polis.
Democrat, yes. Jewish, out gay man, big, huge politician, very wealthy, put like $23 million of his own money into his campaign, which is insane. But
that's wild.
Beyond that, he was innovative. And I don't think money alone can get you there. The electorate is so divided. The voters, the people who traditionally go to the polls, are so 50-50 right now that you need to start involving new people. You got to bring in people into the fold. So what his campaign did was try a whole new third rail issue, all hot and bothered. He was always for cannabis, and he hired a cannabis consultant and started doing a whole text campaign to cannabis workers, people who work in the cannabis industry in his state. In Colorado, it's huge. And this giant text campaign and outreach
to cannabis industry people
and voter registration drives at dispensaries.
Wow.
And he won handily. Right now it was, well, the story said estimated 52 to 45. Handily won. Where it's right now it's like 50-50 everywhere. If you're not running on that third rail issue, you're barely squeaking by.
And early on, the worry was that he was going too far to the left on it because he embraced Medicare for all.
Yes.
Of course, you know, he's the only out gay, gay governor
and Jew
and a Jew. Yeah, so
unbelievable.
Yeah, and now Colorado, he's from Boulder, and they were trying to put the liberal Boulderite on him because Colorado is conservative.
It's
state
purple
for the most part.
They use cannabis and like guns. What do you want?
Yeah, there
you
go. Hey, hello. Whoa. Wait, did you say that this is the issue that can cross over between the Democrats and the Republicans in the 2020 election?
Democrats are kind of late to the
states?
cannabis party. It's sort of weird.
Well, Democrats, listen to Jared Polis.
Yes, please.
And follow what he did.
Yes, please.
If you want to win.
Or Greens. Better.
In a purple state.
Oh, yeah, that might be harder for
You
Greens.
might want to do what he did.
Yeah.
So that
he
was pretty
reached
cool.
out to people who are not voting.
That's right.
Outliers. Anyway, read the whole story on the Cannabis Chronicle.
That's what's right. It was you can find it on the DC420LA.com, but it was in the Colorado Sun, this great story. It wasn't just cash, how texting cannabis voters and tech outreach strategies lifted Jared Polis to victory.
Yep.
Great story. Story of the week. And then, of course, over at Marijuana Moment, great coverage this week as well. He had live tracking going on and pointed out that there were a bunch of politicians who got fewer votes than cannabis.
How's that? That's pretty rad, right? That totally
pretty...
shows you. I hope the Democrats are paying attention.
I'm telling you. And then, not 12 hours later... Bye-bye, Beauregard.
Oh, my God, you guys. We were driving to Kitchen Mouse. We didn't know yet. We were driving to Kitchen Mouse, and when Dave said that, he was looking at his phone, and I was driving, and he said that, we were stopped at a stoplight. I threw the car into park, and I literally started jumping down in the car.
I should have
Couldn't
live
contain
branded it,
myself.
but it was quite spontaneous.
It was amazing.
She's Pete Sessions, we know. No, Jeff.
And I started leaping up and down. I was so excited. I looked like Oscar when we come home.
Jason Tube 22 vaporizing some bubblegum kush, enjoying the show. Thanks,
Nice.
Jason. Subscribe, get notifications, hit that thumbs up.
Cool.
And as we talk about the rest of the week's news, so yes, Rolling Stone. What does Jeff Sessions' exit mean for federal pot policy? I don't think Whitaker is going to be around for very long. He's got a few problems, and he wasn't going to be there for a while anyway. Although it's not sure who Trump wants. He initially said, no hurry. My guy's in, no hurry. But, Cory Gardner, who's got the States Act pending, you're going to see action on the States Act, people. He thinks there should be somebody that protects states' rights for marijuana. And a lot of people are on board that, including President Trump. So that's one of the bills that we could see happen in the Senate, despite Mitch McConnell's
He
problems.
likes to be popular.
He does like to be popular. But there's a short list, and it's not a good one. This in the Daily News, picked up by Marijuana Moment. President Trump considers Chris Kobach, Lindsey Graham, Chris Christie, and Rudy Giuliani for Attorney General. Chris Christie.
No.
That might go bad to worse
No.
for cannabis. Certainly Sessions level.
He's such a clown.
But we'll see. We'll see who ends up as his pick.
I'm screwing
but
up your
apparently
headline,
Chris
Ash.
is top of the list. In better news, the court system, the federal courts, we've got action in the federal courts, people. It's very good news. We saw the RICO case. The cannabis company won the RICO case last week, which set precedent on a federal court level. California has tossed out a city of Fontana's attempt to basically stop people from personally using cannabis in their city by charging too much for permits and trying to basically overregulate it on a local level. The judge said, no, sorry, cannot do that. That is not under the spirit of Prop 64. Don't take people's herb, man. So they won that case. The people of Fontana won that case. The city lost with their ridiculous taxation. And there's a good story about that on Cannabis Wire. California city that banned home growing has gone too far.
Yes.
Gone too far. Cities across the state continue to draft their own rules for home cultivation. This ruling in Fontana could serve as a precedent. Indeed. But that is happening. Kern County, Tuesday, said, nope, you can't. And like upwards of 20 cannabis stores, medical cannabis places are going to have to close down if judges don't intervene there. U.S. attorneys in Michigan are a little flummoxed about what's going on since Prop 1. You can also turn off your... I did. Very good. Since Prop 1 is now passed. But don't worry, they're not going to unilaterally immunize anyone. No point in worrying about that. Some other stories in medical marijuana moment this week. The VA has basically said, as soon as Congress changes something, we might get into
until
cannabis.
Somebody tells me that research does not help in that outcome, then I'll continue.
You mentioned several alternative therapies that you were looking at exploring in the VA. Medical marijuana, one of them. Would you be okay with VA benefits going for medical marijuana?
Marijuana is against federal law.
If that changed, would you be okay with it?
Well, if it changes and we find medical proof that it helps, I will look at any. I just mentioned canines. If something is legal, and I'll contrast it. We conduct canine experiments under legal regimens
Cannabis?
and under ethical standards. If
Sparks
the laws change and there's medical evidence there, of course we look at that. But the law is pretty clear at the federal level.
Yeah, not for long. Legal marijuana, Illinois. We got Illinois in the house. Believer, legal marijuana would generate hundreds of millions for Illinois. New analysis finds over at Marijuana Moment. Kyle Yeager writing that story. So the good news, we have some other stories. We have one story. We got so much from the Midwest. It was tough today. And then there were some votes that not everybody picked up on. We talked about in Colorado, we wanted no on Amendment X. Unfortunately, they apparently did want it, and they are changing the definition of industrial hemp. 61 to 39. Not sure what that's about. We'll have to analyze that a little bit down the road. Maybe Daily Dope can help us out with that. As well as the public bank. Maybe the public bank should have embraced cannabis more. We talked about how they were trying to isolate themselves from that issue. Yeah. Never a good idea, people. If you had, if the public bank had said, yeah, this is for the cannabis industry, guess what? It would have been 58-42 in the other direction, okay? Or 56, the magic number for cannabis. So those were a couple of things that happened under cannabis we didn't. Oh, and what? What's this now? Mitch McConnell, he likes the cousin that can make him lots of money. Let's see what he had to say. Could not be played. What do you mean? They took down this video? Oh, well. Oh, well.
Oh, really?
Let's see. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, here we go. Let's play this. I want to hear him say it.
Turtle.
The turtle.
Turtly guy.
It will be. Control the government. It is an extremely collegial place. With regard to Leader Pelosi, she and I.
Hemp provisions being in the final farm bill.
It will be.
Hemp legalization mean for Kentucky?
Yeah, if there's a farm bill, it'll be in there. I guarantee you that. We're trying right now to make sure there's a farm bill, and before the end of the year. It's interesting to think about what it could be. I visited a couple of processors over the last couple of months. One of them up here in Harrison County, and some of you may have been there. I thought I was just going to a farm, but it turned out it's also a processing operation. And the CEO of the processing company is an Australian.
Hey,
so I'm
Jingo.
This
I'll be
has
you.
International implications. Commissioner Quarles and previous Commissioner Comer have gotten us kind of ahead of everybody else in looking for opportunities. I was on the plane with a kid who had a UK hat on coming home a couple months ago. He came up to me and said, I'm getting in the hemp business. And I said, that's great. He said, I've got a couple of investors, Steve Case, who started AOL, and J.D. Vance, who wrote Hillbilly Elegy.
Cha-ching.
I'm thinking.
Cha-ching.
Serious investors.
Cha-ching.
Interested in hemp. So I don't want to overstate this. I don't know whether it's going to be the next tobacco or not, but I do think it has a lot of potential. And as all of you already know, both in terms of food and medicine, but also car parts. I mean, it's an extraordinary plant. So I'm hopeful. And if the Farm Bill becomes law, industrial hemp will be legal. It will be lightly regulated by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And,
you mean like all of cannabis should be?
It will not be in the Justice Department. And basically the way it'll work, if you want to grow hemp, you'll contact Commissioner Quarles' office. The presumption is permission would be granted. We'd have a list of everybody in a given county who's growing it, and if the local sheriff wanted to make sure it wasn't the cousin, they would know everybody who was entitled to grow it. And they'd be the only federal involvement, they'd be eligible for crop insurance, but other than that, no program, no subsidies, no nothing. Yeah.
Well, well, well. If that could only be true for the rest of the plant and not just the money-making cousin. It's all money-making.
Yeah.
But a lot of money being talked about there. So that is the, I think that's that's the headline hash from DC420LA.com. Go over there, sign up for that newsletter. You'll get all those stories like that I find during the week that talks about cannabis and how it's going to save the world and how this Reefer Revolution is doing some amazing stuff. I can't believe that all of that stuff was just said about industrial hemp. We talked about it.
By Mitch McConnell.
By Mitch McConnell. And now, it could be lightly regulated by the Ag Department and some crop insurance. It won't be touched by the Justice Department at all. It's like, if you just move that bar over a little bit, just a little bit. Well, medicine, and car parts. if you've got cancer, you can eat your tire. And that's the truth. Did you know that George Washington? Listen,
No, you're morphing.
Oh, sorry. The new cannabis warriors, from hemp to hashish. John Boehner. Well, he's not quite into hash, but he's into it, man.
I bet he is.
I bet he is. He should be.
Now that he knows.
Can you make a nice THC infused Bordeaux? Is really what
yeah, I bet you they can.
they should work on that one.
They are getting there. I bet.
Whatever John Boehner drinks, make that first.
Yeah, we should tell them. We should tell them. Okay, so let's
that's the headline hash, guys.
Awesome.
We're gonna move into let's get into some videos. Thanks everybody for watching. You are watching. That was the first hour. First hour. Wow, there we go. First hour. Yeah, that kind of flowed very nicely. And now we can get into some videos about in the news this week. We're going to talk. There's going to be a lot of videos in about the election, and of course, we played a bunch from the Midwest on Tuesday and on Thursday. So we're probably going to skip. We'll play a lot of those in the afterburn, but there's some new stuff we're going to play. There's a lot of news coming out. The Midwest is the new spot, folks. Yes, we're implementing it out here in California and in other parts where it is legal, but all eyes on Michigan and the surrounding area as the Midwest now starts to embrace not only medical but recreational cannabis, and big thing.